Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to 5 Minutes of Torah with the Beth Israel Rabbi. I know what you're thinking. The trees are absolutely beautiful, but you might be scratching your head wondering, I don't understand. Usually, the blossoming of the cherry trees here in Vancouver coincide with the very first night of Passover. Why are the cherry trees in Vancouver blossoming early? And the answer is simple, because this is a leap year. This year we have 2 months of Adar, and we are about to finish that second Adar to celebrate a special Shabbat this coming Shabbat known as Shabbat HaChodesh, or the Shabbat in which we also celebrate the new month of Nisan. And the new month of Nisan is the month in which we celebrate Passover. And so everything is pushed back by a few weeks this year on the Jewish calendar in order to make sure that the Jewish calendar works well with the agricultural life of the one place in the world that is most relevant, most important in Jewish life, and that, of course, is the land of Israel. In fact, the question of Nisan, the question of the celebration of Passover is so important in Jewish life that we actually mark that celebration on the 14th day of what could be understood as the first month on the Jewish calendar. Because on Mishnah, Rosh Hashanah, it says that we have 4 New Year's dates, one of them being the 1st of Nisan. This week, we read a special Haftarah from the book of Ezekiel. And this Haftarah actually says that we celebrate Passover on the 14th day of the first month. Well, we know that Rosh Hashanah was actually months ago, in the 1st of Tishrei, or in the beginning of the fall. But if we think of the new year as being the beginning of the spring, that would make sense. However, there's a little bit of confusion, to the point actually that the Septuagint, in its translation about 1900 years ago, a Jewish translation of the Bible from Hebrew into Greek, actually doesn't translate it as the first month, but actually translates it as the 7th month, thus giving us the idea that there has been some change over the course of history of how we perceive the months of the Jewish calendar. And so no matter what, if we see this as the first month, the 7th month, we are absolutely delighted to celebrate Passover in the next coming weeks. And that is what we are reminded of by the fact that this is Shabbat HaChodesh. This year, we have an opportunity, though, to celebrate Passover in a special way for the first time in a couple years, to do it here at Congregation Beth Israel. The first night of Passover, you can join us for a family-friendly Passover Seder. And on the second night of Passover, join us for an adult-oriented Passover Seder. Keeping in mind that we still are dealing with a pandemic, we will have our Sedarim, our Seders in our ballroom, spread out for those of us who want to be spread out. And for those of us who even want to have our own special table by ourselves with our loved one or loved ones, or even simply by ourselves, but as part of the community in our big ballroom, you will have an opportunity to do that. Shabbat Shalom and Chodesh Tov.